Hello, I'm Ryan F9 and these are my favorite dirt gloves. No, I don't mean gardening, I mean motocross and off-roading. If I'm racing MX, I'll take the 100% iTrack glove above everything else. I mean, it's only 35 bucks, but even if I was a pro and I got all my gear for free, I'd still take the iTrack. This is really simple. Just air preed along the cuff, twill span along the back of the hand for moisture wicking and airflow. I love the 100% logo. To me, it looks like something a factory rider would wear. And fair enough, that's just my opinion, but I think that this thumb panel is objectively awesome. Now see, when I'm working the throttle here, I used to always get blisters on this part of my thumb where it rubbed up against that rubber disc on my grip. But with the Clarino panel, that makes sure it doesn't happen. Single layer Clarino across the palm as well. It's a type of imitation suede and it will wear through over time. I'm not going to pretend that this is the most durable material because it's just not. Although I would say that the contact feel I get through the palm is worth it. It's a perfect level of feedback. Still on the palm, we have silicone on just the two braking fingers. A lot of companies will give you a handful of silicone, but I like that 100% held back. And it's more movable, more breathable, more lightweight just to have it like this. And to be honest, if I'm braking or clutching with more than these two fingers, I probably shouldn't be. Finally, in between the fingers is Trek Dry. And this literally pulls moisture out of my hand and then draws airflow in, and that's always good. So that's the 100% iTrack glove. It's crazy lightweight, crazy dexterous, crazy comfortable. I actually typed my notes on this glove while wearing it, so that gives you an idea of how unobtrusive it is. The only way I can put a number on that is weight. Every other glove coming up on my list clocks in around 60 grams. The iTrack, 23. Now that kind of speaks for itself. The only thing though is that with this glove, protection is pretty much non-existent. Now, if I'm riding enduro, if I'm going fist first through a forest of trees, obviously I want some armor. Now the Fox Racing Bomber is my first choice in that respect. This costs around 60 bucks, which is about right to me. And if I'm buying a protective motorcycle glove, I want to pony up and spend that little bit of extra money. Of course, manufacturers can do armored gloves for a lot less, but when they do, they typically just print some TPU plastic over the glove and call it a day. And in my experience, yeah, that raises protection a little bit, but it also decreases comfort a lot. I'm much better off spending the extra money for this. Rigid, individually molded knuckle guards, and then 4 shields across the fingers as well. Counting down the materials, we have neoprene at the cuff, then mesh at the wrist and over the thumb, perforated leather on the back of the hand. The palm is Clarino again, but I'm happy to see that it's double layered on the high pressure areas, and there's even some shock absorbing foam on the outside of the hand. Finally, on the 2 lever fingers, there's sticky silicone. So that's the Fox Racing Bomber glove. As the name suggests, it's a bomb shelter for my hands. It's still super comfortable though. It's a pre-curved body, so right out of the box, it does feel pretty broken in. There's also just enough mesh and perforated leather in there to make it applicable for summer use. I probably still would get the white version of this glove though, just to give it a little bit of a head start on staying cool. Now, weather options. If I'm worried about staying cool in the heat, I'll take that 100% iTrack again. But if I want to stay cool and be protected from impacts, that's a taller order, and it comes with a taller price tag. This is the Klim Mojave Pro glove, and it costs 100 bucks. It's dedicated to hot weather use, and with a name borrowed from the Mojave Desert, I probably could have guessed that. Complete mesh upper, and then this armoring is Poron XRD across all 4 knuckles, and then 3 of the fingers as well. I love this stuff. I choose to ride in Poron. If I could buy shares in Poron, I probably would. I mean, this stuff has amazing impact absorption, and it's also breathable, which keeps within that theme of the Mojave. Flipping it over, the palm is all micro-perforated leather. Same with the outside of the thumb and the panel on the outside of the wrist. Super breathable stuff, similar feel to Clarino, but it has a much better abrasion resistance and it has better performance when it's wet. This is the only glove on my list with a leather palm, so it's also the only glove I would take ADV riding. For dual sport, I'd have the Fox Bomber no problem, but if I'm seeing a lot of pavement, I want this leather palm. The glove is comfortable to wear, and Klim used stretch mesh in some of the key movement zones, so it's a pretty well articulated fit. I do have one gripe with the Mojave Pro though, and that's going to be the cuff. It's about an inch longer than a typical motocross glove, and that just doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's not long enough to be a useful gauntlet, but at the same time, it's just long enough so that when I move my wrist, I have to feel that fabric bunching and pulling. In my opinion, it's a rare boneheaded move from Klim. And finally, the cold weather option. This is Fox Racing's Polarpaw glove, and I actually want to buy a pair this season. In many ways, it is similar to a lot of things that we've seen already. Chlorino palm doubled up on the high stress areas, sticky silicone across the fingers, in ice blue, which is rather appropriate for a cold weather glove. Lots of neoprene up top, and then this is TPU armoring across the knuckles. You know, I'm not too crazy about that, but this is only a $50 glove, so I probably shouldn't complain. The thing that makes the Polarpaw special is that A, it's not ventilated, and B, it's lined with a fleecy material. I tend to get overexcited for the dirt biking season, meaning that I hit my first ride when there's still snow on the ground. So a glove like the Polarpaw keeps my digits from freezing up. And what amazes me is how slim Fox has kept the design. Next to the bomber glove from earlier, you'd hardly be able to tell that that Polarpaw is going to be insulated. In a perfect world, this glove would be waterproof, but it's not. If I want a waterproof dirt biking glove, I pretty much have to borrow from the sport bike world. Alpinestars has a few Gore-Tex options that do come to mind. So that's it for my favorite off-roading gloves. Simple and fast, technical and armored, great for hot weather, and great for cold weather. By the way, my hands are 7 7/8 of an inch long, 9 inches in circumference around the palm, and I took a large in all of these gloves. As always, product links are right down there, and thank you guys very much for watching.